What it do, baby? It's the one known ChevReacts back with another bang. And in today's video, we will be looking at something crazy. In this video, we'll be looking at satisfying times karma came for awful people. And let everyone know, yeah, karma is big after you. You ain't too stupidness. Karma come after you. Well, you also bad people who always get what they deserve. And in this video, we'll be looking at that today. So, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Turn on post notifications, throw by this as well 2020. Like the video, comment down below anything, subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell button. Other than that, let's check it out.
Sometimes justice can seem in all too short supply in the world. But occasionally our old pal karma steps in to balance the books. And when it does, boy does it feel good. Get ready for that warm, fuzzy feeling of justice being dealt as we explore some more satisfying times karma came for awful people. Incriminating alias. In 2015, one Florida man seemed to believe giving a fake name to the police was a genius tactic when he was pulled over for a cracked windscreen. Having lost his license due to a DUI and with an outstanding warrant for aggravated battery out against him, the novice criminal gave a made-up name to the officer. But when the officer pulled up the details associated with that fake name, the criminal mastermind's plan fell apart. Why? Well, it just so happened that the name he plucked out of thin air was actually a real person with a very real DUI of their own. So the officer took the alias master to the station where his real identity was eventually revealed. Giving his real name didn't make much difference though, because he was prosecuted not only for his pre-existing warrant, but for driving without a license and obstructing the course of justice. Scoot him up. While illegally riding his electric scooter along the sidewalk in July 2019, a Chicago resident collided with a pedestrian and sped off without remorse. In the wake of the unusual hit and run, the police were called, and they'd soon track down the two-wheeled fiend. However, when the police flashed their lights and siren to get the scooter driver to pull over, a man driving his car mistakenly assumed the signal was for him. The mistaken driver then pulled over to the edge of the road and, not seeing the scooter scoundrel, accidentally struck him down. Indirectly, justice was served to the scooter scoundrel.
It's good, man. You'll be doing food with someone and you'll be driving off. It's good, man.
Although I'd say being seen riding a scooter in public is punishment enough. What's your beef? In school, there's always that one kid whose only personality trait is being as much of a jerk to as many people as possible. Unfortunately, those kids usually get away with it somehow. Not the kid in this clip from 2016. While his friend discusses the schedule for a farmer's market with a local news interviewer, the kid in question gets a little slap happy with a couple of the cows in the background. His inexplicable episode of animal annoyance doesn't last long, luckily, as while the cows don't seem too troubled by the boy's antics, they do teach him a lesson. Squashed together by the comparatively huge animals,
This child's so dumb. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Why are you playing with cows? You know they ain't no good sometimes. Why are you doing that?
The boy has no choice but to wait out his punishment until the cows finally release him. His rescue assistant seems tired of his shenanigans, as if this kind of nonsense is a daily occurrence, and his friend doesn't even turn around. It's a simple lesson, but one I hope this mean-spirited whippersnapper learned. Don't mess with animals that are around 10 times your size. Shake some tail feather. If you've ever spent time around peacocks, you'll know how infuriating their noisy cries can become.
These niggas so annoying. These peacocks are so annoying.
Justification to steal one that doesn't belong to you. But in Miami in 20...
Yeah, but what would you do if one of them come right after you? I ain't playing with them. I'd break up running. I don't care. I don't care. And especially when they spread the wings, they just like, what you call that one? The ostrich. They just like ostrich. Them niggas don't play around. They don't play around. And I ain't even trying to figure out what they could do to me if I try to bother them in the wrong way.
Pulls up, grabs the bird, and makes a break for it. Little Carver wouldn't let him get away that easily. Almost immediately, the other birds in the yard get chased, driving the man off the property and following him down the road. No doubt delivering budding specks aplenty. Granted, he did escape, but with a plumage pursuit like that, it's unlikely he'll be making a return anytime soon. And seeing as the street's other residents reportedly view the noisy peacocks as a nuisance, he may have even done them a favor. Maybe in this case, karma is less black and white, more blue and green.
But where did he get all the peacocks from?
In April 2018, in Witness, England, a couple of bored young men began pelting passers-by with coins from the safety of their first-floor council flat balcony. But when another couple of gentlemen visiting the town caught wind of the antisocial activities taking place, they thought up the perfect form of vigilante justice. Caught on camera with the aim of world-class professionals, the Knights of Karma began launching eggs at the formless troublemakers. After a series of near misses, the balcony bandits make a dishonorable retreat, but not before one of the vigilantes unleashes the shot of a lifetime, curving the egg around the closing door for one final tangy impact. Instant justice. Best served sunny side up.
Say I'm in a baseball. Does he miss all them?
When a Facebook
You know, the curveball, but
you
gotta make it for his time.
Gratitude in return, but they didn't expect to be stolen from either. That's exactly what the hitchhiker had in mind. When they arrived at the hitchhiker's destination, the free rider hastily departed and was out of sight before the driver realized they'd stolen his cigarettes. Theft is certainly an unusual way to say thanks, but Karma had a punishment lined up and ready to go. When the driver looked into the bed of his truck, he noticed the hitchhiker had left something behind. It was their bag containing their phone, toiletries, clothes, a dress book, a few coins, and some sentimental-looking items.
How do you forget everything you bring? You're so dumb. How could you forget everything you bring? You bring a bag. You forget your phone, your wallet, everything just for a pocket keys.
Deciding against seeking out the hitchhiker to return his only worldly possessions, the driver wrote it off as a fair deal. The deal being that the thief had traded everything they owned for 18 cigarettes.
They ain't that because they could be stressed out.
This next clip, Redditor Dizzy Desi demonstrates what it means to keep a cool head in the face of dangerous drivers. When cruising along a Texas highway, an impatient driver attempts to force his way into her lane, but soon learns that a bold move like that requires the skills to follow up. Despite initiating the incident, the other driver loses control while Dizzy Desi stands her ground and expertly maneuvers her vehicle to safety.
Good job, Dizzy.
Despite the antagonistic driver spinning out into oncoming traffic, no one was hurt. Hopefully, though, that knucklehead driver learned a valuable lesson about trying to intimidate on a busy highway, especially when Dizzy Desi's around.
Dizzy Desi boy. Dizzy Desi.
On a morning like any other, driving around Hamilton, Ontario, a dashcam user captured some ultra-satisfying instant karma, the likes of which the world has never seen. A macho man pedestrian decides he's king of the road while jaywalking and launches a game of chicken in a busy street. Never the mark of a genius. He doesn't back down and appears to smoothly believe his dominance has been fully asserted. That's until any speck of dignity comes crumbling down a second later when he falls into a bowl. Walk that one off, buddy. Maybe look where you're going next time. Donkey versus Doofus. An unfortunate trend since the early days of online video sharing has been the tendency of people with a lack of brain cells to film themselves messing with animals. But thankfully, every once in a while, someone captures the moment when the animals turn the
You don't play with
tables.
kangaroos.
Just like this 10-witted
You
young
don't play
man captured
kangaroos.
himself.
Kangaroos can fight. You don't play with them. They kick you so hard in your stomach, you vomit. You probably lose all the feeling in your stomach after they hit you. You don't play with kangaroos. They're not strong. They wake up. They're not strong.
Drunkenly clambering into a doggy's pen on a dare in 2019, despite his friend receiving a warning bite after a few moments teasing. Ow, motherfucker! Man, my finger! Jesus, climbing. Dragger falls ready. Stop airing. Almost immediately, the doggy shows some these
I didn't know donkeys can like that.
goes for an attack on the man. Despite his small size, the donkey has a hell of a fight, and he's not afraid to use it. Eventually, with some help, this shank fellow makes a cowardly escape. All while the donkey gives a loud warning against returning.
You know how funny that sounds? A donkey attacking you, and all you're
I'm pretty sure that's donkey talk for who's the jackass now, punk. Take it or leave it. When an Ohio man went to unlock his car one evening in 2017, he didn't expect to find it looking like this. It was immediately clear that someone had broken in, stealing whatever they could get their hands on inside. While a break-in is never a nice thing to discover, the car owner's anger soon turned to laughter as he made an unexpected discovery under the front seat. It was a wallet, complete with an ID card and even a church membership card belonging to none other than the thief himself.
I go church membership card. going to church and you thieving on people's car and you thieving on people's car and you leave your ID. That don't make no sense.
They tried to turn to theft. The thief made the police's job very easy, though that wouldn't be alleviating his sentencing all that much. Here's hoping he had time for one last visit to his beloved faith mission to atone before his extended stint inside the slammer. A gripping crime. When you're a robber, keeping a hold on the situation at hand is top priority. But in 2018, a bumbling criminal couldn't even keep a grip
Why
on his
I'd be
weapon
scared of
while
her?
trying to rob it.
She doesn't look like she can't hold a gun probably.
CCTV captured the shady-looking man entering the store and approaching the till, where he attempts to pull out his gun to intimidate the owner, and drops it immediately. Initially, he tries to retrieve the gun.
You gotta be attempting to rob something and you slip with the gun. They don't make you pick the gun up and shoot you. You said, dumb.
Continue the robbery, but he soon gives up and flees, leaving his weapon at the scene.
Why you kicked it open?
The gate comes as he flees when his pants fall down in true comic fashion, with the weapon later found to be a BB gun abandoned at the scene. Tracking down the world's worst robber would prove too difficult.
He really tried to steal with a BB gun.
Typical for the cops. But the real punishment is the online immortalization of his truly embarrassing failure. Trash among trash. Sometimes it falls to the public to administer justice on the small scale, and the punishments people come up with have no end of creativity. Nothing exemplifies this more than one Chinese street sweeper who grew sick of a particular driver making his job difficult by parking illegally in a spot that obstructed his work. As revenge, the sweeper surrounded the driver's car and 42 to the broke trash cans. Getting that car free would be no easy feat, and the whole thing was sure to kick up a stink for that inconsiderate owner. Willpower. One thing that sets humans apart from other animals is that most of us know not to explore potentially dangerous spaces head first. But if you make a head first investigation into a hole in a tree trunk, one of the most common hideouts for woodland creatures, simple stupidity evolves into
Why would you do that?
intrusion. One tree-dwelling porcupine, though, made a quick
Why would you stick your head in a tree trunk with a hole? That don't make no sense. Are your head screwing right? Are you okay? What?
work of an intruder who decided to stick his face into the creature's home. His no-entry warning came in the form of approximately 100 pointy-barred and incredibly painful reminders that if you play stupid games, you'll win stupid prizes. Raging Ricochet. A sad fact is that all too often there's not much that can prevent someone committing to a deadly mission from carrying it out. But in London in September 2019, we stepped in and turned the tables on a would-be killer in an unbelievable way. A man had taken it upon himself to carry out a hit against an adversary, and when he spotted his target in their car, he sprung into lethal action. With gun in hand, he approached the vehicle, took aim, and fired. The bullet flew with deadly speed toward the driver's window, but by some miracle, ricocheted off straight back at the man who fired it. The gunman died of his wounds soon afterwards, while the driver was left thinking just about every god he could think of for this seemingly divine intervention of karma. It seems what goes around really does come back around. Sometimes even bullets. Do you have any crazy?
I never had nothing like that in my life. A bullet bounce off of glass and hit the person who shoot it. That don't need to be God or angel. Something had to protect that place. That don't need to be God or angel. Because no way a bullet hit a glass and bounce back and hit the person. But yeah, that's the of it. Satisfying times, karma, came from awful people. What you see in the video is a lot of awful people free. They get what they deserve. And they get exactly what they deserve. So that kept it up for today's video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Turn on post notifications for buying lines on 2020. Other than that, it's been ChevReacts back with another banger. And we out.